what's up? A Cinema Shogun here, and just when you thought things couldn't get more downright disgusting and vile in the Jared from Adventures with Purpose situation, just when you thought we had seen it all and we had heard it all, boy oh boy were we wrong. I would encourage everyone to go grab your nearest barf bag because this one may make you nauseous, because it damn sure made me throw up in my mouth a little bit. Well, there's been a lot of discussion over who knew about Jared, who knew about Jared's past. It's a very dark past, and it would make you believe that it would be hard to cover up, especially when there's been social media posts floating around for almost a year, especially when there's been, these accusations floating online, especially when there's been big moves in Jared's life and in his business with Adventures with Purpose. It's hard to believe that no one noticed that something was going on. Well, we've talked a lot about the AWP members and if they knew. Today I want to talk about something else because it appears, get ready for this one, it appears that Jared's wife knew, allegedly. It appears that Jared Lasik's wife knew about these accusations and had a good idea of what type of person Jared was and what type of things Jared was into. Now, I know this is going to come as a shock to a lot of people. But for me, when I heard that, I was like, yeah, duh. Jared's wife is probably one of his family members. We need to look it up, okay? Ancestry.com, I don't know, someone get a Q-tip and put it in Jared's mouth and his wife's mouth. Let's figure out if they're related because I can guarantee you they probably are. Because I'm not even going to go there. I'm going to try to be nice in this video. Okay. Now, this is coming from Ikidmel. Ikidmel talked to one of his sources. We're not going to get into who his sources are. If people want to try to put two and two together, that's on you. And this was revealed. Now, I believe it for a 100% fact. This past of Jared's, it is something that I believe would be almost impossible to cover up because there's just too many red flags. But it was said that Jared's own wife was there when he admitted what he did to his cousin's mother. Now, I don't think that Jared is out here telling everyone like, hey, everyone, I'm a monster that did these little things to my cousin. No, Jared puts it across in a different way. When Jared tells people his story, I believe he tells it as if he's a victim as well. As if you can excuse his actions because of things that may have happened to him or things that other family members were doing. So I don't think, I've seen some comments, sarcastic comments asking me, well, what do you think? Before they go diving, Jared just tells them that he R-words 9-year-olds? No. I don't think that Jared just comes out and in graphic detail tells you what crimes he committed. I believe that Jared gives people an idea of his shady past and that there are allegations out there, and I think he tries to downplay them while making himself look like he was a victim as well. That's what I think. So it looks like to me, if we're to believe this source, and I believe this source, it looks like Jared's wife knew all along. Not that Jared's wife found out yesterday. Not that Jared's wife found out on Sunday. No. That Jared's wife had a good idea about Jared for a while now. And if you were to mingle in Jared's family, how would you not know? How would you not notice the incest Cyclops babies running around at the family get-together? How would you not realize that you are surrounded by deformities caused by cross-pollinating with your own kin. My thing is, you can't be a part of Jared's family without having an idea of the family dynamic. Now, when it comes to the coworkers, okay, maybe you didn't get a peek behind the curtain, although I don't believe it, maybe you didn't. But Jared's wife, to be there this long, this family has too many issues for someone to not realize it. So, honestly, the narcissist that Jared is, the master manipulator that Jared is, I honestly feel that Jared could come out and tell his wife, and she probably wouldn't mind. Jared can come out and tell people about what he's done because he's manipulated them to the point of I guess, just being incapable of judging him. And that may sound crazy to you, but really think about it. Look at the people online who are defending him right now. So if Jared can manipulate a perfect stranger who he has never talked to a day in his life, who he will never talk to, if he can manipulate YouTube strangers into kissing his balls and defending him while he is going through this situation, then what do you think he can do to people in his own life who are right there with him? Now, as far as I'm concerned, if Jared's wife knew about this, like it looks like she did, and she stayed with Jared, and she allowed their daughters to be around Jared, then she's got some explaining to do. Not to me, but to someone. Maybe to a higher power. But Jared's wife, if you knew you put your daughters in danger for the entirety of their lives, and who knows what could have happened to them. Listen, I know people are afraid to say things. I'm not afraid to say it. If someone would do something like this to their own cousins, their own sisters, then they are a danger to their own family, their own daughters, their kids. I believe that Jared is a danger to his kids and kids everywhere. And if you've looked into the situation as much as I have, if you've listened to Jessica and the cousins speak out, then you know that Jared has been taking little vacations with young family members for a while now. Jared will just go and pick up random nephews or little brothers and go on vacation by themselves. Jared was such a narcissist that he reached out to his sister's kid who he allegedly did things to. Jared allegedly did some horrible things to his sister, right? Jared's such a narcissist that he reached out to his sister's son trying to be his mentor. Think about that for a moment. Think about the audacity of someone calling one of their victims' kids and trying to be their mentor. Jared is on a whole different level than what you may think. I don't think this is, Jared did some bad, horrible things when he was 17. No, I think this activity carried on. I don't think there's any person out there that can convince me that Jared did not continue with these activities throughout his life. But just in case there's some discrepancy over if his wife could have known, and there's all this discrepancy over who has access to Jared's emails, Jared, in one of his videos, actually revealed who had access to his social media and the whole entire thing. I believe this was posted by More to Come on Twitter. Sorry if I'm mistaken. Listen, there's a lot of names and stuff that I am trying to keep up with this in this situation, but let's just go ahead and watch this clip.
Fingers there, so 3 editors, and then I got my wife and her sister and my daughter doing merch. I've got another sister-in-law that's doing most of the comments, as well as the other sister and my wife, as well as emails. And then we got Peter, and then we got Dylan from time to time, but he's part-time.
So the wife had access to the emails, sister, daughter. It's just, it's obvious that it wasn't just one person that had access to Jared's emails. That doesn't mean that every member of AWP had access, but I do believe that other people could have seen these emails. I do believe that other people had to see these accusations. And we'll get into why in just a moment, but there is one more thing that I would like to talk about here before I end this video, because I said that I feel like Jared is a danger to everyone, honestly. I feel like Jared is a danger to anyone who he is around, especially young kids. And I had someone send me this over, and I don't want to involve anyone else from Jared's family in this mess. And I battled with myself on if I would even talk about this. But morally, I feel like I'm kind of obligated to talk about this because it's scary. And I think this is something that needs to be pointed out. One of Jared's daughters, she owns like this little dance studio. Now, I have nothing against his daughters. I don't know what they got going on. I don't think their lives should be ruined because of what their father did. Who knows? Maybe their father did some things to them. We don't know. I just think it's a possibility, but maybe not. Maybe they love their dad. Maybe Jared managed to be a good father while being a complete monster behind the scenes. But regardless, Jared's daughter owns a dance studio that takes in students, young girls, to teach them dancing and what have you. What does that tell you, people? Now, while Jared's daughter doesn't have anything to do with what Jared has going on, if Jared's daughter, who seems to work closely with AWP, if she has this dance studio with all of these young girls coming in, then is that not a steady supply of young women for Jared to creep on? Not saying that he did. There's no evidence out there that he did. This is just me speculating. This is me brainstorming. Because people like Jared, they often put themselves in positions where they have access to young people. They have access to young girls or young boys, or just people whose brain haven't fully developed yet. Like predators, they're often teachers and gym teachers and people who put themselves in positions to work with kids or to be around kids. And I can't ignore that there is this steady flow of children, of mainly young girls, who are coming into this dance studio, who are in ways just being provided right there for Jared if he so chose. Also, I've shied away from it, and I usually don't shy away from things on this channel. I've shied away from diving into the religious aspect of this all. Because from what Jared says, from what his victims say, a lot of this has to do with their religion and what they were doing in their religion and their beliefs. For instance, they believe they are aliens from a different planet. And that's not a joke. They actually were taught that they were aliens from a different planet. So they have these beliefs. And there's nasty, creepy, weird things that have been normalized in their family. And I can't help but feel like if we have this dance studio with little girls coming into the dance studio, how hard is it to believe that some of those girls maybe belong to the same religion as Jared, or have the same type of upbringing as Jared, so weird, creepy things would be normalized to them too? You catch my drift? Like if Jared practiced this religion that has these type of beliefs, then I don't think it's too hard to believe that other people with that same religion would be gravitated towards him. And if they wanted to put their kids in an extracurricular activity, why wouldn't they put it in his daughter? Why wouldn't they put them in his daughter's dance studio? So not only do we have kids here who Jared has access to, We have kids here who may have been brought up on similar upbringings as Jared, who Jared has access to, who Jared could possibly do things to, who people, little girls who wouldn't even know that there was something wrong with what was happening to them. So that scares me. That scares the living shit out of me. I sat up last night looking at it and it was just like, man. Because as you peel back the layers and as you look into the situation, it's hard to believe that Jared stopped with his cousin or with his sister. Once a predator in my mind, always a predator. I don't think that you come back from that. I don't think that you change. And it's not like Jared did a complete change in his life and became this great person. I mean, it may look like that from the outside, but if you look on the inside, the emperor has no clothes. He was always a horrible person. And any and everyone will basically tell you that except Doug. So you all do what you want with this information. I just think it's important to be out there so we know. And I hope that any parents that may be sending their kids to this dance studio, I hope that you no longer send them there. At least until Jared is hopefully behind bars. Then that's another situation. Because I don't think that his daughter should lose her livelihood and her business. But at the same time, too shady for me. You work alongside your father and your father is this child predator. I don't think anyone should be around him that has a constant access to little girls or little kids in general. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. I'll talk to you all in the next video.